Hi everyone, it's Marianne, and I am here today to give you another All About. It is June, and June is all about toilet paper tubes and wrapping paper tubes and paper towel tubes. Any of those cardboard tubes that come in the middle of things that get thrown into recycle once everything is used off of it. So today's all about, we're going to take a toilet paper tube, and I have both of these here. Haven't decided which one to use. You can see that they're different sizes, different brands of toilet paper. One is like a full inch longer than the other, and a little bit bigger around maybe, but maybe not even bigger around, just longer. And we are going to take one toilet paper tube and make two pockets, tuck spots, great for journals. You could even put this on the inside of a card. If you make a handmade card for somebody, open it up, and inside you have this, and have a gift card or something tucked inside. Nice little surprise, and it just adds to the handmade effect of your card. Turns it into more of an entire gift, not just a card. So I like to think of things in multiple scenarios, not just junk journals, not just scrapbooking, not just cards, not just all those things, because I don't do all those things, and some of you don't either. Some of you do one or the other. So, but all the ideas that we share, we can use for all of them. So let's get started, shall we? First thing we need to do is break this tube down to cut it in half. Now, you might have seen Sharon posted on the Facebook group a few days ago how she took a whole bunch of toilet paper tubes and just set them like this and smashed the iron on them and ironed them down flat. Now, if you know you're going to want to do things like this with them flat, then that's awesome. If you think you're going to make like a pillow gift box, then you don't really want to smash down flat, because then it won't work right. So I'm going to cut this one in half and see how big these appear to be. Now, this is one situation or one instance where I probably would want these ironed down flat if I had done that, because it would just help them lay, a little bit flatter. But I see that's obviously not very quality, falling apart. But we're going to put paper on it, and we're going to make it sturdier anyway. And so this one wasn't ironed flat, but by the time we get everything on it, it's given it some girth, and it's going to be, and it's nice and sturdy. So these are going to be the same. So this one is a little bit smaller. You can see here that it is, wow, must have cut some off of those. That's all about 3/4 of an inch, and maybe 1/4 of an inch this way. So it was a little bit smaller around, and a lot shorter. Okay, so first thing I want to do though is I'm going to use my trimmer, just because I want this edge to be straight. I want the pocket edge to be straight. It'll be a whole lot easier to cover it with paper if it is straight. So I'm going to even that off. I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to even that side off. Just get a nice clean edge. That's all I want. I'm barely taking a sliver off. All I'm doing is cleaning up the edge, so it's a nice clean edge and easier to cover with paper. That's all. Okay. And I just reached over to my scrap pile of papers from things I'd been working on earlier and haven't had time to put into a scrap bin, and grabbed these four that are like, I think they're all from the same paper pad. They're all coordinating colors. And so these are really small. I mean, this would almost cover it by itself. So I have an option here. We could put, I'm thinking, see how this one, I covered it in one color paper and then, embellished on top of it. But I was thinking maybe to do, and maybe it'd be better on the bigger one, but maybe to do a thin strip of this lighter color on top, and then a thicker strip of this one down below, be like that, and then put a ribbon or something, in between them as that line of delineation. And I just saw these. I love these. These are so, so pretty. And they're really delicate. So these are a little bit smaller and light. They look a little lighter, and this is delicate looking paper. So I thought that might really look pretty, to bring the pinks and golds together. I have no idea what this is going to be used for yet. So we're just going to make it look pretty and decide later. So let's do that. I think let's do that. Okay, so what we're going to do then, I'm going to set one aside for a minute. We'll work with one at a time. I think I want the lighter, so the pink up on the top half and the darker color on the bottom. So let's see, I'm going to say how much of that do we want covered by each paper. I think that's good. So it's not an even 50-50. So what I'm going to do is first put down this darker paper, and you'll see why. I think it'll make it a whole lot easier. May not get exactly where we want it here, but we'll get pretty close, and we don't have to put it everywhere the glue is if it's up too high, if the glue is up too high. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I want to see, line it up with that straight edge there. Okay, and so if I look at that, that's more than 50%. I want it to be more than 50%. It's that much, and it leaves that much for the other color. So that looks good to me. Okay, so I'm going to push that down really hard to make sure that stays, and I'm not going to worry about cutting it yet. But this one, this really pretty pink paper, has music on it, and I want to make sure that it's going the right direction, which is this way. Okay, so this is up. So I'm going to cut this edge off. By cutting that edge off, I'll be able to put the bottom of this, butt the bottom of it right up to the top of the other one, and have it going the right direction, like that. Okay, so let's quickly glue up the rest of this toilet paper tube. Have you been thinking about other ways that you can use toilet paper tubes, or other things you can do with them? I've got a couple more up my sleeve, things that I've done. Well, now I set it down and make sure I have it the right direction. Yep, that's the right direction. Okay. Maybe it doesn't matter, but kind of does to me. I'm a musician, and if I look at it and the music paper is upside down, it would bug me. It would really bug me every time I saw it. Okay, ooh, that other side is pretty too. Look at that. All right, so now let's just cut this off like this. This is the easiest way, is just to get this trimmer out and let it do the work for us. Flip it around. Flip it around again. There we go. There we go. Let's see if there's any end that's not, looks like it could use a little more glue right there. Okay, make sure we get that in nice and solid. Keep leaving this off because I need it again in just a minute, and then it gets all dried out. So let's check the other side. This corner didn't get any glue all the way up to there. Okay, and we can fix up the corners later if we need to. We can glue them down. We'll just do that, then they can be sitting there curing while we do the other one. So we're going to do the other one exactly the same way. We're going to pick a little more than half Get the glue down. I'm going to try to go all the way to the corners on this one, just to see if we can get that in the first shot. All right. That looks about straight. Okay, let's rub that down. You can see how this is already straightening up once I put the paper on it. And the paper and the glue, the two of them together. Now, I really like this flower up here in the corner, so it'd be nice to have that be on it. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can do it without... Oh boy, that's going to be a toughie. But let's see. Actually, it's got exactly 1 inch. So let's put this at exactly 1 inch. And that should work. And let's hope it does, because it's the only one that I have. Yes. Yes, it did. All right, so let's glue up the top. And put that one down. Yeah, once you put the glue on it and another layer of paper, a layer of paper that is not toilet paper tube, it starts to help it to relax and lay flat. A little easier to work with. Yeah, it'd have been great if it was ironed already. Sharon, you could iron it for me. If you were here, I'm sure you would have. But she's not here. She doesn't live by me. So we don't get to do that. All right, now let's take it down here and clean up the edges. Okay, now the bottom of this one keeps wanting to flip up, so I'm just going to give it a little glue, because that's going to be a pocket. We don't want that to be where every time you stick something in the pocket, it catches and eventually just rips it off completely. There's a corner that didn't get down. Okay. And that corner right there. Okay, the rest of it looks pretty darn good. All right, so set those aside. So we've got, these are our 2 prototypes. I'm gonna close up this glue for a minute to try to keep it from drying out too fast. Get these out of the way here. All right, so you see our 2 prototypes, and then here are the 2 that we're making today. And let's see if one of these, this is pink and gold trim. Boy, that sure is pretty, isn't it? Let's see it on this one. Yeah, it's pretty on that one too. The colors go great with that. What about this one? That looks really cool, but I don't think it's quite as pretty as the other one. So maybe we will do both exactly the same. How about them apples? All right, so this has threads in it, which is fabric because it's threads. So that means we want to use Fabri-Tac to put this one down. And it's not very thick. It's a pretty thin strip of ribbon. So Fabri-Tac does dry clear. And we do want to make sure we have plenty for it to stay down really nicely. And I want plenty on the ends, because when I cut it, I don't want the ends to fray. I want them to glue up with Fabri-Tac. So I think I'm going to do like that, okay? I'm going to do like that. Oh, Fabri-Tac all over my fingers. Just one tiny little bit, and then there it is. Getting on everything else I touch. Okay, just trying to cut that off. It's a little awkward. And that really got a bubble. Oh, grab a paper towel over here. Bit of trash. Okay. Want to get some in underneath that and get it to all stay together. You know, glue it down and glue it together to itself all at the same time with that Fabri-Tac. Otherwise, the gold thing will just fray and the pink stuff in the middle will just fray all over the place. Okay. That one did better, staying in place because it was glued down better. I'm going to put a little Fabri-Tac on top of that. Just hold that all in place. Okay. And we'll give that a minute to dry there. All right. Now I'm looking at this, looking at my prototypes, and it was even though it was a print paper, it was a very mild print, a very soft print that was hardly seen, very monochromatic, both of them. And so putting the lace over it really added, but I'm looking at these and I really don't want to cover up the bottom of either one of these with lace because it's a very, very nice print, very kind of lacy in itself in just the way it's printed. So I really don't want to cover that up, I think. Okay, make sure we got the right side. Whoop. Don't fall yet. Okay. Right down the line of glue. And make sure it's straight. All right. Gonna put a little, well, before I do, let me try to cut off this little hunk sitting there. Put a little bit of gold on top. Not gold. I just cut off that little bitty piece of gold. Put a little bit of glue on top to hold it in place, hold it together to keep it from fraying. Okay, and then we'll go over to this other side. And we'll cut that one. And before that can fray, I saw it already start to pull back. How quickly it contracts. Okay, put a little hunk of glue on the end there to hold that together. All right, so there we go. So I don't know that I want to put lettuce on them. Lettuce? I'm not putting lettuce on them, no matter what you say. No matter how you try to convince me, I am not going to put lettuce on them. But I was going to put lace on them. Ooh, that got set in some whatevers. But I don't know. Now I'm looking at them and I don't know that I want to put lace on them. I don't know that I want lace to cover that up. I don't think I do because those are really pretty bottoms. So lower half. So I don't think we want to cover that with lace. All right. So what do we want to do then? Maybe a flower, maybe a butterfly. Let's see here. This just has some die cut butterflies. Those are way too big. I don't know if there are any small ones in here or not. There's a lot of them, but most of them they're not really big, but they're kind of too big maybe for this. Let's see if there's anything smaller. Oh, ooh, that's pretty. I just would like it to be one size smaller though. It's a little bit large. And kind of seems like these are all the same size. I guess it's been a while since I die cut them and put them in there because I didn't remember exactly what was in there, but I did see that it was labeled butterflies. Okay. Well, at least they're consistent. They're all the same size. All right, so that's not going to work unless we have a smaller butterfly, but it's not coming out of that container if we do. Let's take a quick look at these. That, not that. It's not. Although we might be able to do something cool with a cool perfume bottle, huh? Might be able to use a cool perfume bottle. We've got these stamps. That's where this one came from. Let's see. These flowers, butterfly. These are all really pretty. They might just work. And butterfly, but it's the wrong color. There's a really pretty butterfly. Let's pull this out and see what those two look like. That one's really pretty. It's still gluey wet down there. This one is actually really pretty as well. Both of those are pretty. Don't know what we want to do butterflies on both. Maybe we want to put one of these flowers on one of them, or a little bird, or how about some flowers? Let's see what we have in the way of flowers. Here's some pink flowers in here. Let's see what kind of, I'm going to keep this close by because we might want to use that. Let's see what kind of pink flowers we have here. It's kind of pretty. Just, a simple decor. It's not colors. These would be better colors. Those are better colors. Makes me want to spray them a little bit to make them glisten or something. Oh, some tiny little pink roses. That'd be pretty too. A shabby paper flower. That might be cool. It's a very shabby paper flower. But they're meant to be shabby and squished and, look however they look. I don't know. What do you think? It's a giant one. Nope, too purple. Let's see, that might work. No, that's too light. This one's pretty. That's pretty. That's actually not bad. That's purple. I mean, this is just a, obviously paper made, but it matches and it kind of looks cool. Kind of looks carnival or party-ish, like, decorating for the party. It's the same as that one. It's the same as that one. Oh, there was some other different colors in here. These are way too dark. That's way too big. Here's tiny. Those are tiny. Could do something with those. Yeah, we could. We could do something with those. We could. Come on. Get them to twist the right way. We could lay them. Sorry, I think I was off screen there. Wasn't paying too close of attention, and I should have. Okay, we could lay them like this. We could glue them down. Oh, come on. That one's just, there we go. All right. And then we could get one of these butterflies. Well, butterfly's kind of big for that, isn't it? I've got a ton of butterflies. Where are they? None of them are right here. Oh, I've got hundreds and hundreds of butterflies, and none of them are right here. But that is actually, I think I like it better over there. That's actually kind of pretty, isn't it? We did that. And even let these things, I could untangle those. They're just twisted to stay together. And let them, maybe leave them together. And just cut them off about right there. They look like they need a little bow around them. Oh, come on. Come on, Marianne. Just find something and make it work. That one's too dark. That's pretty. Not with that one. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Is that too dark? There's some embroidery floss. That is too dark pink. But what is this? This is this is thread. This is thread, and it's the right color pink. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to wrap it around and around and around my hand. Okay. Cut off. Okay. Now you can see it because there's enough thread there to see. Okay, the ends are right here, so I'm going to cut right where those ends are. Okay, and I'm going to put it underneath these flowers. So I think I told you in the last tutorial that I was going to play with some different camera angles to see what worked. This might be a good angle, but I feel like I might keep going off screen, out of shot, out of camera shot, and I don't want to do that. So might be a good angle, but maybe I just need to bring it back to see farther towards the edge of the desk. How's that? So I really do want feedback on that. If you see one camera angle in a tutorial and you really like it or really dislike it, please do speak up and tell me that you do, if you do, and why. I was not just giving lip service when I said that. I really would like to know, because, you know, sometimes the camera angle can just make the whole thing really irritating because it's not good, and it could just be a small tweak and it would be great, but person who's not watching it, who's making it, doesn't know that because we can't see it the same as it's seen after it's done. And if we wait till it's done, then we've got this all done, then we've taken the entire time to do it, and often there isn't time to make a whole nother tutorial after we watch it. So we really do, well, I really do look for and appreciate your feedback on things like that. So please don't hesitate to share your thoughts, your opinion. All right, so what we did was take the thread and wind it around and around and around my 4 fingers a whole bunch of times until we got enough that it would be visible, not just a piece of thread, but a bunch of thread. And then use that to turn it into to make a bow. Okay, we want that one to come out here where it can't be seen. And this end's just a little long, so let's just give that a little clip. I like them not being all being the exact same length. Okay, then we're going to go back here, and we're going to lay that down right there. We're going to let this come around here. I'm going to cut these off right there. Those little wires. Okay. I don't know how long these have been floating around in my flowers, but I just found a way to use them. There we go. So we're going to put that on right there. Now this is going to need some good, strong staying power. So we're going to use Fabri-Tac on this. Yes, we are. And then we'll get some Fabri-Tac underneath that thread to make it stay. I'm going to put it all the way down the stem, both of those stems, because they're not together exactly. I'm going to bring it up here, up each one, so the back of the flower gets Fabri-Tac on it. It's getting really sticky because I've left the lid off sitting here. Let's bring it up the third one. Hopefully I'm still in frame. Okay, there we go. Now let's just put that down right there. Okay. Oop. Don't stick to my fingers. All right, I am going to put a little bit on the paper here to get some of the threads to come down and stick to it. And, you know, string all the way across my desk. And I'm going to come to the other side and pick that up and put just a little down this side. So as long as some of those threads are sticking to it, then it'll all stay in place. All right, so there's one. And I didn't I didn't feel like we had to embellish that any more than that because we've got this up here in the paper that's kind of acting as an additional embellishment. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? Forgot to cut the notch. Forgot to cut the notch. All we do is take a circle punch. These are a little bit smaller, so I'm going to use a 1 inch. It's a fairly small. Oh boy. Should have done that before I put those flowers down. Oh. All right. Let's see very carefully. It may be a small notch. And wait a minute. It's a circle. It's a circle. So it doesn't matter what angle I do it from, right? Do you see what I'm saying? I don't have to go straight in and get that part of the circle because it's a circle. I can even go from the side. As long as I'm in, I can determine how much of the circle is used there because it's the same all the way around. Wow. Quick tip without even realizing it. I love when I discover things like that that really help me. All right. So because it's a circle, you don't have to go straight in. As long as you can get to it from any side, it's going to be the same either way. And then you don't have to rip up something that's already there or smash your flowers that you just put down. But let's do this one while we've got it right there so that we don't have to go through that again, depending on what we embellish this one with. Okay. What's this one asking for? What's this one screaming for? How about screaming for a butterfly? Not just a butterfly. Let's see. Pink and green and brown. What about, I don't know, but I'll have to use one of these perfume bottles. So I wonder what, like that one right there. They're sheer, so you can see through them, but that's kind of brown base, but yet it's sheer. That one looks more gray when I put it down there. Blue. Yeah, that's the only one that's really kind of brown. except these, see, they may look different putting them over that paper than looking at them just in the package. See, that's too tall. That's too tall for that space right there. And that's blue, but if there's a green one, that's too tall. All those green ones are too tall. Over here, put that green against that and it totally changes the color and it looks way too dark. That green one's too tall. So I think that's the only one that's going to work. So what if we did that and then took a few of these little roses and put them up here. Like that. A few roses and a perfume bottle down there. Well, it'd be nice if one of them sat really flat, and maybe we can make that happen. So let's try Fabri-Tac on these, because not only are they fabric, but they are not flat, have a harder time staying there. So let's see if we can get the three of them in a little tight configuration. And if need be, we'll throw in two more and make it 5. Okay. There's 2. These would do great with hot glue gun too, but since it's not out and it's not heated up, we're not gonna get it. So Fabri-Tac will do great. It's just gonna need time to dry, and that it certainly can have time to dry. Okay, there's a third. This one feels like it's slipped off of its glue. Let's find out here. Yeah, they're just going to need some time to dry. And so if you let them sit there for a few minutes, that Fabri-Tac becomes even tackier. Then you can take this and push it down, push it into that a little bit, and you'll feel them sink in and stick. I feel them stick and not come back out immediately like they did at the beginning. So the longer that Fabri-Tac sits there, but don't sit there till it's dry and then try to do that, because that won't work. And of course, we're going to make sure that this is permanent. There we go. And we'll put one little rose down by it, like it's the dressing table. Plenty of Fabri-Tac on that to make up for the unbalanced rose. There we go. Now we could ink these up, vintage them a little bit, and I might do that. I probably should have done it before we even glued anything on, especially these flowers. If I do that now, they'll just slide right off. So I'm going to leave those. I'm going to leave those to sit like that, and give them a chance to for the Fabri-Tac to dry, and so they can harden up, and then they will be ready to go to use as pockets. There's our 2 prototypes. So see how easy that was? Quick and simple, and you can use any of the tubes. It doesn't matter what size, doesn't matter what brand, how big it is. You have small pockets, you have big pockets. If I use this one, this wrapping paper tube, they'd be even smaller pockets, because this one is much smaller around than these. So if I was doing a mini journal, this would be perfect. And then you just cut off as much as you want the length of it to be. And so you get perfect little pocket for a mini journal. So, and an easy way to store all that brown paper. All right. Thanks for joining me today. I invite you to join us on Facebook in the Happy Paper People group. I'll be back soon with another tutorial. Until then, be curious and try something new.